Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Catherine Zinkina, and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast. I have another goodie, another short but sweet episode for you from a previous MBA Q&A. So inside of my program, the Manifestation Babe Academy, I always do these almost bi-weekly Q&As throughout the 20-week transformation process, where I love to check in with my students and see what their most pressing questions are from the modules that have just passed. And we break down the program in these phases, right? So each Q&A, I'd love to focus on a phase, and every single round, I get new questions, many similar questions to previous rounds. And then I love it when I get new questions and just every single round that opens up of MBA, my answers, even to the same questions that were asked before, just keeps evolving and evolving and evolving. And so that's why I love doing them, because I'm like, wow, my answer is different now, but it's still in that generic kind of frequency of the truth of what I'm trying to say, the truth according to the world of manifestation, to the truth according to the world of spirituality, and just how I perceive it and how I want to transmute it, transmit it and transfer it and channel it through to my students. So it's so funny. I was listening to a couple of my Q&A responses, the answers to my students' questions. And this is from the most previous round. So March of 2022, when I was between 20 weeks pregnant and 40 weeks pregnant. And it's so funny because I'm so out of breath, you guys. I was just joking with my team that I sound like I'm running and recording and talking at the same time, even though in my last trimester, I was lying down on my couch. That's how exhausted I was. I was lying on my left side because, left side is the best side to lie on when you're pregnant. And also the way that Orion was positioned in my womb, left side was the only way I could survive any position of comfort. And I'm just talking and it sounds like I'm literally running on a treadmill. So I apologize for the breathlessness and any audio issues, because I don't do any professional setup, at least for a while I didn't. And then I started incorporating more of my microphone and things like that. I just we keep it casual. I want it to feel like you're sitting across from me and I'm just talking to you. You ask me a question, I'm literally sitting across from you at a table and I'm just talking to you. So there's no crazy microphone experience. It's usually just me talking into my AirPods. So I just wanted to explain that. Why is Catherine out of breath? Why is she running in this episode? I don't know. It's because I'm freaking pregnant. So with that being said, today's episode is all about, I was listening to this and I was like, what do I call this? What is the title of this episode? And I really want to title it how to pull yourself out of your own bullshit. So I share a couple of examples of moments and times in my life where I was in a bunch of bullshit, or my reality just didn't look like what it is that I wanted it to look like. It just wasn't something that I was proud of or something that I wanted to be living. And, I developed this system of constantly asking myself powerful questions. So you're going to get some powerful questions in this episode, as well as a little bit of the BTS of my grandma's couch days and how I was able to pull myself out of my own BS with a very little tiny bit of evidence that what I desired for my life was even possible to begin with. I think that so many of us can relate. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're beginning your manifestation journey. I don't care if you are in, you've been living a pretty good life, but something happened, right? Or and you're trying to pull yourself out of that, or you're like living a great life and you want to go to the next level. We all can agree that at the time of us deciding that we want to manifest something, we all have very little proof that it's possible. Why? Because we haven't achieved it yet. We haven't been there yet. So, of course, the evidence is very small. The proof is teeny tiny. So, I just love to share these Q&As because I love to show you like my line of thinking and just how I am with my students. And of course, invite you to come inside one of these rounds, which by the way, it's not just like you have access to one round, you have lifetime access to the program. But I always like to do it together with my students because when we're doing it in the energy together, I'm able to channel the energy of my students and respond to you guys in a way that serves you as a group and a collective specifically. The launch for MBA is coming up. But in the meantime, at the time that this episode has been released, we're about to start our free workshop. So if you want to get a taste of MBA and you want to manifest your glow up and you want to transform your life and you want to create the after portion of your before and after story, and you want to manifest your dream life so that you can literally like glow and activate your inner light and who you truly came here to be and what you truly came here to achieve, which I promise you is so much greater than you can even imagine right now. If you were to ask me, Catherine, where you are today, was it anything like you imagined? I'm telling you, it's so much better. It is so much better. And I hear that a lot from my friends who have also achieved very successes of their own. I'm like, did you ever imagine it to be like this? Did you ever imagine it to unfold like this? And they're like, hell no. It's so much grander, so much better. It's like the universe just knows that what we desire is like the beginning. What you desire right now is like the lowest level expression of what you're capable of. That's what's crazy. You might be like, I want to live in a mansion, a 4-bedroom mansion up in the mountains somewhere with this beautiful view of like the ocean in the distance. And the universe is like, ha ha ha, that's just like the base level. Okay. You're going to end up living beachfront. We're going to find a mountain that's actually beachfront for you. Okay. Somehow we're going to make it possible. You're going to live in a 7-bedroom mansion. You're going to have a whole squad to clean this house because like who the fuck has time to clean a 7-bedroom house? And you're going to have a happy family in there. You're going to host all your friends in there. I mean, like, you see where I'm going with this. So it's just literally the base level of what is possible for you. Where was I going with that? Oh, yes. Postpartum brain is still in effect. So the enrollment for the free workshop is literally ending in just a couple of days. We start on Monday. I believe it's the 24th. Yes, it is. Just checked my calendar. Monday the 24th. So in order for you to sign up for that, make sure you register because I'm giving away some awesome free prizes. And in order for you to get the recordings, any special announcements that pertain to the launch of MBA, I said the recordings, prizes, and extra stuff that I love to surprise you with every now and then. You must be registered, and you can just easily and effortlessly register at manifestationbabe.com/glow-up. Again, that's manifestationbabe.com/glow-up, like manifest your glow up. And then you can also get on the wait list for MBA at manifestationbabe.com/MBA. And if you're new to my world and you're like, what the hell is MBA? All of the details are on there, as well as the wait list, but you can also literally scroll through and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to get. Plus, maybe I'll drop some extra bonuses this round. I haven't decided yet. We will see. I always love to keep things fun and exciting, mysterious, and super special. So with that being said, enjoy this episode. And as always, please tag me. Let me know what you think. Share it with someone that you think could really use it, especially if they feel stuck right now. All right, enjoy. Here's a tough question to always ask yourself. And whenever I have found myself in similar situations in the past, or when I find myself in a frustrating situation or some sort of a plateau or like something is just feeling like it's not going my way, or it's going backwards, or, oh my God, things are getting worse, whatever, right? Like we're creating all these stories about whatever is happening. I asked myself this really tough question that a lot of people don't like. A lot of people hate this question. And that's why very few people experience transformation in their lives, is because they are not willing to ask themselves this question and really sit with this question and really take self-accountability and self-responsibility for why things are the way that they are in their life. So whenever I have a situation like this, or let's take me back to grandma's couch days, the good old days on grandma's couch, is what do I have to believe about myself? What do I have to believe about money, about abundance, about the world, about whatever? Insert whatever you need, whatever you want, in order to be creating such a reality. So what do I have to believe about X in order to be creating such a reality? Or if it helps you, I really love taking the third person perspective. So I really love to pull myself out of myself and pretend like I'm my friend. Okay. And I'm just a neutral observer of Catherine's and Kina. And I'm just watching Catherine. This is a very powerful exercise. I had a session with Dr. John Connolly, who's the inventor and creator of rapid resolution therapy, which is something I'm interested in getting trained in and plan on around the end of the year. Of course I do. And he had me run through an exercise like this. And it's something I already knew to do, but just him running me through it again, of just separating myself from myself and being able to see myself from outside myself and neutrally observe myself. I was able to pick up on things like this that literally transformed me overnight. Like I got the biggest aha moment of my fucking life a couple of weeks ago, where I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. This is where I need to work. My work is cut out for me here. These are my action steps. I can see it clearly. So you could be like, wow, if Jessica was my friend, what does Jessica have to believe about herself in order to be creating such a reality? And that's really where you need to dig in and see where you're giving energy to beliefs that aren't serving you. So when we introduce the limiting belief blaster, that's where I want you to focus on. Bring this frustration to the limiting belief blaster. You have a tool. You have a literal formula. When I talk about the funnel in which you enter the limiting belief blaster, where it could be like something that triggers you, a negative emotion, or just an area in life that you have a lot of frustration in, you start there with that funnel. And then whatever comes out of that, that's what you want to work on. You asked about, what else you could say to replace I can't afford that. Well, some of my favorites is instead, subconscious mind loves to answer questions. So instead of being like, why can't I afford that? Be like, how can I afford that? Where are there money manifesting opportunities that I'm just not seeing right now? Because remember, if you're really hyper-focused on all this happening here, what is your RAS going to filter more of? Your RAS is only going to find more of similar reality. And so if you ask yourself, where are the money manifesting opportunities? Let's focus on that instead, that I'm not seeing right now. And your subconscious mind can't help but want to answer that question. Where else is there abundance in my life that I'm not allowing myself to see right now? You guys, abundance isn't just in money, though I know it's awesome and everyone wants that and you can have that. Absolutely. But it's also understanding that abundance is a connection to more than enough in all facets of life. And by shifting your focus to, where else do you have an abundance? Do you have an abundance of love in your life? Do you have an abundance of gratitude? Do you have an abundance of clothing? Do you have an abundance of hair on your head, right? Like, do you have an abundance of food in your fridge? That will allow you to build a stronger relationship with abundance, that you can trust that, look, no matter what happens, there's always more than enough. The universe will always provide, and the universe will always replenish. And another way of saying, this is something that really helped me, and someone did bring this up in the Q&A portion, the questions, which is a lot of people would ask me, Catherine, what if like you're saving your money or you're currently on the manifestation journey and you're like paying off your debt and you just don't have money to spend on like going to a weekend trip to Las Vegas with your friends? What is another way of, instead of telling them, oh, I can't afford that, what is an empowering thing that you can tell them? And it's literally like getting creative and just saying, this isn't in alignment with my priorities right now, but I'm so excited to join you guys next time when it is in alignment with my priorities. Or, yeah, this yacht isn't in alignment with my priorities right now, but holy fuck, am I so excited to one day be able to purchase it or to be able to charter it in the Mediterranean around the islands of Greece with my whole family and all my friends one day soon, right? So you're shifting the focus of like, maybe not right now, it's not in alignment right now, but one day it will be. That's all that you need. Remember that tiny piece of evidence, that internal lawyer just needs to focus on the fact that it's going to happen no matter what. It doesn't matter that there's all this other evidence of it never happening. You just need that tiny little piece of evidence that will get you out of jail, that will get you out of lack and scarcity jail, right? That's all that you need. And you just need to get really good at arguing for that one little piece of evidence. And I obviously, like, hearing that analogy was so helpful that I love to share it now. And we'll be sharing it from this point forward. But I realized as I was hearing it, the reason why I wanted to share it with you is because it's literally how I've done this. It's how I went from having absolutely nothing, no proof, no one believing in me, just nothing but a freaking dream and a vision. And then literally having my whole dream and my vision, starting from the fucking cot behind my grandma's couch, which is just a fun little tidbit of my grandma's couch story, is she tried to make me a private space in her living room because I had nowhere else to sleep. And instead of making me feel like I'm couch surfing, she brought a cot from another grandma, Eastern European grandmas. She brought a cot, like literally, you guys, like a nap cot or like a, cot that you would sleep on if you're like boot camp training or something like that. And made me like a little bedroom behind her couch, between the couch and the wall. And that was so uncomfortable. But I remember like crying myself to sleeping. Like, is this really what my life looks like? Did I really say no to medical school for this? Did I really say goodbye to Beachbody coaching for this? Like, did I really say goodbye to living this cozy life at my parents' house for this? Right? It was wild. And I had to find the one little piece of evidence of like, you know what? Everyone in these books that I'm reading, these manifestation books, they say that if you desire something, it's already done. In the energetic world, it's already done. Just because you envision something, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what is imagined. And so who gives a fuck if it's just imagined? I'm going to argue for that. That's where my internal lawyer is going to come in. I don't care if I'm sleeping on a cot right now behind my grandma's couch and then moved on my grandma's couch. That doesn't matter. All I need is this tiny little bit of proof, tiny little bit of faith, tiny little bit of belief. And then I just let that grow, because that's the seed that I planted into my subconscious mind. And that's all it fucking took. And every day became easier and easier and easier for that little tiny little seed to sprout into a seedling, to sprout into a plant, to sprout into a tree, to sprout into that exact reality that I was dreaming of on my grandma's couch. And of course, I live far beyond that reality now, but that's all it took. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.